What is going on, everybody? I think we're live. I'm pretty sure we're live. I'm hoping we're live. So I hope you can hear me. Buff, how are you doing?
I'm really good. Yeah, let us know, guys, if the audio is good on both sides here. Let us know in the chat because we're trying something a little bit new here. With Crash found some sick technology to use for us here, so we're using some new stuff. So let us know how the audio is doing. I'm good. I had a good weekend. Watched watched the Game of Thrones prequel last night. What is it called? House of the Dragon. So pretty sick and excited for a good show today.
Yeah. Is that good? Is that like it's kind of like is it better than where Game of Thrones like left off? Is it
I mean, it takes place like a couple hundred years before all that, so it's like a completely different story, but you still have like a lot of the same places and house names and stuff in the first episode. So, episode one was good. I mean, I'm pretty invested, so I like it so far. Pretty excited for next week.
nice? That's good. It's always good to have good stuff to watch. We're getting into fall time where
Exactly.
there should be some good TV, which we'll get to later on in the quick shots. Some game related
Oh
stuff going on
yeah.
with there. But like as far as the podcast itself goes, guys, there is a lot going on. So last week we had audio problems, so I'm like, why not make it more complicated? Let's do it. So we're actually restreaming across different channels. We should be live on my old Facebook gaming page. I see Taylor on the screen from Facebook. I'm live on Twitter somehow. I don't even know how that works. So if you are on Twitter, get your butt in here and pop into the chat so you guys can be on the screen. And we're live on my channel and Buff's channel simultaneously. So keep your guys' eye on the screen for the chat. All chat should be combined so you guys can see what people are saying on the other channels and chime in on the conversation because that is important to us. I know I say it every week, but I really appreciate you guys chiming in and adding to the conversation. That's why it's on the screen. So when people go back to watch it on the various platforms, minus the podcast listener, they're able to do so and see what you guys are saying and adding to the conversation. And then hopefully at the end of the show, we'll be able to hit up some chat Q&A. So got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of parts
Oh yeah.
moving. So hopefully it holds together. But yeah, how was your weekend, man?
It was pretty good, man. Had a pretty busy weekend. Got some good lifts in. Enjoyed some decent weather on Saturday, and yeah, and here we are on a Monday. So ready to go. Hopefully, we get some good gaming news throughout the week as well.
Yeah, I didn't know. I know we talked about last week. There'll probably be a Call of Duty Intel drop tomorrow, won't there? Like the day after our show, I fully expect that to happen. But
Yeah, definitely.
we did get some info on the battlefield today that we're going to talk about. We worked into the show. And then also there was another small intel drop that happened after last week's show. So we're going to talk about that just a little bit. Kind of the latest craze in PC gaming right now, super people. And then there's a lot of smaller stories to go over in the quick shots and then hear from you guys. So what do you say? So I looked up a fact of the day. Did you know on this day in 1902, Teddy Roosevelt was the first president to ride around in a car, to ride in an automobile?
19. What was the year? Oh two.
1902,
Oh two.
the year
Wow.
of our
All right.
Lord.
There we go.
Yep.
Interesting fact. There we go.
Yeah.
Good old, good old, good old Teddy, huh?
That's right,
Love
Steady Teddy. We're gonna go off just like him and his car and his big stick and start with some breaking news. All right, breaking news, guys. This is a real
Oh
news show.
yeah.
This is the real deal. So yeah, this dropped like actually right before we went live. I was gonna try to pull the wool over Buff's eyes and hit him with it and surprise him with it like last week, but
I ruined it.
he caught it. He caught it over on Twitter. So essentially what's going on, and I don't know exactly what this means. We can talk about it a little bit. I guess that's what we do here. The rating summary came out for Warzone 2, and it talks about it kind of lumped in DMZ with Warzone 2.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know if that means that that's how the release is going to work, or if DMZ is going to be coming out with, the first launch of the game multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean, they really don't even say much there. I mean, they're just kind of referring to it as part of like Warzone 2, like you said. So regardless, it seems like even if it's not DMZ is not itself at launch, it'll be with Warzone 2. So don't have any confirmation, but this is the first confirmation of DMZ outside of the leaked image from the menu there from the NFL players. What was it, 2.5 weeks ago or so?
Something
So
like that.
this is the first official mention of DMZ, which is good. So if they're sticking with the name, I'm excited to see what happens with this. But yeah, the rating on the game as M for mature is good. I'm happy
Yeah,
with that.
it's probably what we expected. So yeah, there's gonna be stuff going on with that. I think I might have pulled up the wrong one. I pulled up the Modern Warfare 2 one. Um I had it
Yeah,
pulled up
there's one
on
for Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2.0, I think it is. Yeah, and they lump
yeah, there it
Warzone
is.
2.0. They mention it's highlighted there. What was it? Battle Royale. Basically, they mention a little bit of plunder slash DMZ is what it says. So yeah, there we go.
There, I got it right. If that's the only problem the production team has tonight, we're gonna be doing really good. So yeah, it says this is a first person shooter set in the Call of Duty universe, and this is where it lumps it in. It says there are multiplayer combat events like Battle Royale, Plunder style skirmishes, and DMZ. So that's where it lumps in the DMZ. Players use machine gun, shotgun, sniper rifles, explosive to kill enemy soldiers, blah blah blah. And at the end, it says the words and appear in the game. So that's why we're at an M. All right, guys. So yeah, I don't know what this
Love it.
means. I don't. We talked about the breaking news last week was that Warzone 2.0 is going to release in November 16th. We found that on the WoW Reddit. That was like an internal Activision Blizzard document that leaked. So
Yep.
we know that it's coming November 16th, and that's my still biggest question is, does this mean that DMZ is coming on November 16th with Warzone 2, or is it going to be relaunched? So or is it going to be launching with the multiplayer? So I
Mhm.
originally thought multiplayer because we saw, like you said, from the NFL players kind of leak that image. But
Yeah.
then this kind of makes me think the other way. And also, Tom Henderson was asked about DMZ, and he said he's kind of already talked about everything, and he did reiterate that it would probably take place on the Warzone 2.0 map. So that would kind of make sense that
Mhm.
they really couldn't release it until Warzone 2 is in the game. So we might have to wait a little bit for DMZ.
Yeah, but I think with the Warzone 2 map, I mean, that's going to be a larger map than what I would think. Because what we initially heard for the DMZ leaks is it'll be on the Warzone 2 map, but there will be, subsections of the map, kind of like just like Ground War, right? I mean, Ground War was out at launch for Modern Warfare 2019, and then we got the full version of what was the Ground War sub parts of that map with Verdansk later on in 2020 March there. So they could definitely release DMZ at launch and have several different maps. And that would be our first look at what the Warzone 2 map ultimately is. Only, what is it, 3 weeks later? So it's not like,
About
it's not like we
3.
need to wait long regardless. So I hope I hope it's at launch. There's also the possibility that don't release it at launch. They release Warzone 2 and then DMZ comes later on as like a staggered Warzone 2.0 type release. But again, that's just speculating. This is the first official even text of or mention of DMZ that we've seen publicly. So we really are just kind of guessing at this point.
Yep. And also, Tom kind of set to temper expectations a little bit. He kind of hinted that it might not be as crazy as a lot of us are hoping for. There have been leaks where there's a ton of people working on it, so I'm still hopeful. But I'm not like super hyped about it like I was for Hazard Zone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need anything crazy. I think if the backpack system and everything, even if it's like, even if it's, half of as good as what Blackout was back in the day, but has the extraction feel, like I'm good with that. I liked Blackout better than, Warzone obviously has its pros, but the Blackout had the backpack system. You don't have a loadout. You had to get your attachments, find your weapons. And I mean, there's just so many mixed I guess leaks and what people are saying that they're hearing. Nero Cinema is saying one thing, Tom's saying one thing, Ralph was saying one thing. We have just at this point, it's hard to really know what we're going to be getting. And plus, it could be. I think we heard it was going to launch in beta, right? So I mean, it could still be a work in progress. We could see DMZ evolve over the course of the next 2 years for sure. I think that's also a possibility.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I guess either way, like we can ifs and buts it all day long, but
Yeah,
we're gonna find out in a few months anyway. So, but
exactly.
yeah, that was some good breaking news to start the program with the small
Very
regional
good.
broadcast. We're not doing too bad. Actually, if you think about it, this is what I used to say when I used to restream my gaming streams back in the day. I was always like, we broadcast on more channels than the Super Bowl. Like that's how massive this is. If you think about it.
It's
So
true.
yeah, the
You're
next
not
thing
wrong.
that's technically correct if you do
Yeah.
the math. So yeah, the next thing I wanted to talk about, I was really wanting to hear your opinion. I kind of gave my opinion on this stuff during my video I did today. But on the Battlefield developer update that they came out with, did you get a chance to check any of that out?
Yeah, I did. I watched the video that they released, and I saw little snippets of the blog post. I didn't get a chance to check out your video today, but I skimmed through what the basically I saw the screenshots on Twitter of what was taken out of the blog post by other folks, and then I listened to their videos, so I have a pretty good idea of everything that's coming.
Cool. Yeah, so essentially I kind of have a list of it over here cuz I have to do that kind of stuff now that I'm old. I have to write stuff down. Um Overall, I'm a little bit frustrated that they play this stuff as new content. I'm like, I thought about
Yeah.
this while I was on the toilet that if you strip everything away that's fixing or finishing the game, what was actually there? One map
Yeah.
and a couple guns.
Yep.
Like, and I don't consider like the fixing stuff and finishing the map and stuff like that as live service content. So like if you strip that stuff away, it's like where you I mean there's not a lot there. So I'm just
But
frustrated
yeah.
that they try to advertise this. They try to advertise this as new content when it's just finishing the game, in my opinion. So one of the things they're going to do is portal weapons will be added starting with the M16 and the M60 LMG. You do have to play them to unlock them, and they're not taking the time to add like the mastery skins or anything. So
Yeah.
portal weapons are coming over.
But they're staggering them, is what they said, right? So first is going to be the M16A3 and the M60E4 for season 2.
Yep, those are the first ones. And
Mhm.
then they're gonna start adding them later on. I think another couple. I might have wrote them down. Yeah, 3 are coming later, potentially the next season. The P90, the AK-74U, and the M98B. Um, I thought it was kind of weird that you have to play to unlock them. It's like these are portal guns, like it's recycled content that they're bringing over, and then to get you to play the game, you got to unlock them. I thought that was kind of funny.
It's pretty dumb, honestly. Doesn't make
Um,
much sense.
they talked about that, and then the one new map is going to be on there. Yeah, did you get a chance to see that image of that?
I saw. I don't think so. Maybe I didn't. I saw like some of the art from last week, but I saw whatever they showed on the video, and I don't recall if that was the new map or they were showing the reworks when I was looking.
Shoot, I don't have it pulled up. I thought I did. Production team is. I'm about to fire him.
I saw what Temporal had up last week when he had that art image in it. I thought
Uh,
it reminded me a lot of Panama
here,
Canal from Bad Company too, actually.
here. I got it. I got it. I'm gonna pause it where you can see it. Oh, back a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna pause it and pull it up. Yeah, I think you're gonna think something different when you see it. Because I honestly, when I was first watching it, I was like, "Oh, that's discarded." I didn't know. I thought it looked almost exactly like the
Oh,
discarded map.
yeah, no, that's what I thought too. I did see this. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I thought that
So,
was discarded. Yeah.
like, yeah, you didn't even realize that that was the map.
No, no. Thought
So
that was the
cool.
rework for discarded, is what they were showing.
Yeah, no, that's the new map. They showed a little bit of gameplay inside, and a lot of people are kind of joking that it's like Container Field 2042 because inside they blocked out everything with containers. It's like 80% of the assets that they're adding to finish blocking out the maps are containers. So
Containers.
like the sheer overuse of containers kind of made me laugh. Honestly, I don't care if it plays good. It plays good. I don't really care what the cover is so much, but it's kind of funny to me. But yeah, there it is. It looks a lot like discarded in my opinion. It'll probably play different. It's obviously shaped different. It is
Is
a
that the
smaller
whole
map.
map though? Is that the whole
Yeah.
map?
Yeah,
It
and they said,
is.
yeah, so
Okay.
I remember in the first dev update before season 1, they said that the maps are going to be like smaller and more infantry focused, so
Okay.
they're gonna like that kind of stuff. But then they're gonna make the maps like tighter because everyone was kind of complaining about the maps being too big, too much space in between objectives and stuff like that. So they said
Yeah.
they're gonna make them smaller, so it's really small. Um, if that's what
Well,
it is.
I'll be honest. I mean, looking at it, I'm just seeing a whole lot of open areas. I
With
don't
some
know.
containers, hey,
With very little though. I mean, this is
some
a lot
containers.
of open desert there, to be honest.
There's definitely some containers. Um, so yeah, that's the new map. I was kind of disappointed in that. It still could play good. I definitely still am going to and want to check it out. But yeah, that's that. They did say at the end, like really shortly, they did say man, I feel like I'm being really mean and negative, and I don't like doing that. I'm just saying stuff how I observed it. At the end, she said that this is the amount of content we can expect with seasons moving forward. So that was really rough for me to hear. That it's probably going to be like a couple new weapons and one map moving forward.
Yeah, it's pretty bad because I mean, season one really there was only the one new weapon. I wouldn't consider really the crossbow a weapon. So
Yeah, I think there's going to be like a couple new ones. Like Rec said in the chat, there is going to be a new SMG. You can see a little bit of a glimpse of that in the teaser. But other than that, that's
oh, okay.
so one of them's going
I
to be
didn't get
an
an eye on it.
so one of them's going to be an SMG, and then
Okay.
I'll get into the weapon count in a minute because it made me
Oh
laugh thinking
god.
about some other stuff too. The season reveal they said will come at a later date, so it's like yeah, Rex says level cap said 7 guns coming for season 2, but that's again, I'm not counting portal weapons and reused content, man. Like that
Right,
I
right.
just feel like but yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
good. So
can't.
there'll be 7 different weapons coming to season 2. So that's good, I guess. That's going to add
I
variety to
mean,
gameplay and that's definitely what it needs. Um so let's see. Yeah, the actual season 2 reveal is going to be later in the month, which there's not that much month left. So it should be should be pretty soon. I don't know
yeah.
why they just didn't say last week. Another one of the notes I made is they didn't say anything about mouse input, which at this point I'm kind of thinking is just not going to even be talked about, which is unfortunate. It is an issue. It makes the game not feel the greatest, and it also is something that I think, based on my really ignorant opinion or knowledge of game development, I think it's like engine level. Enders has said he's a Battlefield creator. He has said that developers, he didn't give any names, have privately admitted there is a mouse issue. So like we haven't seen, they're not
Yeah.
going to say anything.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know, what are we? 8, 9, 10 months post launch? Still an issue.
Yep. Then they're updating. You guys can see on the screen they're updating the look and feel of the specialist. So McKay's growing a beard and getting some smudges on his face. They look angrier, and it essentially has nothing to do with gameplay. The I can't even tell. Like the graphics are so weird. Like you can't even tell in game that they look any different from the ones that they've already changed. So I mean whatever. I guess you can tell people you're doing that. It's not really a highlight or an advertising talking point. Then the other thing was the map rework. So this is good. This is what I was like really happy about. I thought from what they said we were only getting the renewal rework next season, which is what they kind of talked about. That's the only one they've said, but we actually get kind of a bonus one. They're also reworking Orbital, which I think is definitely needed. So that's
Yeah.
good. One of my biggest things was that the map reworks need to happen and they need to happen fast, quickly to get the game playing better, especially with like Modern Warfare 2019 like right on the horizon. Like it's looming.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this stuff isn't coming till sometime in season. Some of the stuff is season 3. I think they said on the roadmap. So by that time, Modern Warfare 2 will be out.
Yeah. No barking. Sorry. So we have I have the map, the road map to pull up at the end so we can like kind of go over
Perfect.
that stuff at the end. That'll be good. But yeah, the specialist rework I know is coming season 3, and I want to get your opinion on this, on the specialist rework. So we didn't. I've been upset for a while. Malding. See, look, I lost all my hair. About the specialist core feedback not being a thing and them not talking about it. So I wanted to bring that up because they just kind of said this is what we're thinking. They did come out with a core feedback loop. Now they said it like 6 months or not that long, like 4 months ago that it was going to be a couple weeks, and it's been like 4 months. So it's kind of funny. But it is the specialist feedback loop is out. You can give feedback on their first iteration, and basically what they're doing is moving specialists into prospective classes. Those classes have a set gadget you can pick and traits and stuff like that too. So that's I think
Yeah.
about it. They're still
That's
specialists.
It's crazy because I think that was floated. That was floated by the community before the game even released. I think after the beta, like this idea has been going around Reddit forever, and
Yep.
that's not even coming till season 3. They said on the roadmap, which I mean, I commented on Twitter today. I said this is, this is 10 months. So by the time that's actually out, it's gonna be around a year, if not more, from release. And they supposedly have the entire Dice studio working on it. So like, let's hope to God that's actually not true, which we all know it isn't true. But for some reason, they keep saying that, which makes them look even worse. So
Yeah.
it's all around just really bad.
Yeah, it's like they're doing the best they can with the skeleton crew to piece it together. That's the vibe I get. Like
Yeah.
they're not adding camos and stuff to the portal weapons when they bring them in. I'll be very interested to see if this new map has the weather, has the tornado and different weather changes and stuff like that, because the exposure map in season 1 had none of that stuff. Like it's
Right.
almost like they didn't have the time or ability to put that in the game. So
Mhm.
that wasn't there at all. So I'll be interested to see if this is more like finished out, if it's got the tornado and the levolution and all that stuff. So we'll definitely want to check that out. As far as that, um, a couple things I thought were like, I don't know if it matters, and this could, you guys can let me know in the chat or comments or whatever if I'm being nitpicky. But I thought there was a couple things that were kind of unprofessional about it, and that's a strong word. Um, I don't want to say but there were a couple like mistakes in the video that I thought were kind of silly. When you looked at the specialist rework stuff, there was like placeholders, like lorem ipsum text. Wasn't that, but it was just like the description of the gadget goes here in 2 lines or more. Like you can see
Oh
that in
God.
the video. And then also when they did when they were showing the orbital rework and doing the
Mhm.
flyover, there was an LOD was active, like it was drawing in uh uh foliage was like popping in as the camera moved. And it's like
Jeez.
if you're doing like a map showcase,
Yeah.
like render everything in so like you see it in all its glory. I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
weird.
That is that. I mean, I'm not surprised at this point, but yeah, that's pretty odd. I'm curious when they actually. It's almost like they threw something together really quick to show something in the trailer, right? And they announced this, I think, last week that this was happening,
Yeah.
and everyone was saying, "Well, why don't you just if the video is up, why don't you just release it?" So I'm just curious when they actually threw that trailer together.
Yep. And I didn't want to like be like super nitpicky about it, but it's just something that made it seem like it was rushed. I don't think it was like game breaking or anything like that. It made it seem rushed. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. To be honest.
Yep. And then and Tinsk is the one in my chat, he said that tweets from Marcus Leto make him more excited for the next BF game. He has been asking a lot of really pertinent questions. My only issue is that he is in charge of a single player game, not the multiplayer. So
Mhm.
hopefully maybe they'll come out with a really cool gritty single player game and that'll transfer over. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work out, but Tinsk also did a really good video on how the specialists should be broken down into categories, and they kind of got
Right.
closer than it was. And that's kind of been my overall feeling of this. Like we are where we are. The game came out like it did. There's a small group of people working on it. I'll go ahead and say it. Like I know they've said to the contrary, but way ahead of schedule, they've said stuff that wasn't exactly true before either.
Yeah.
So we are where we are. The game is the game that we have. And this is like best case scenario, I think. There's good things happening to it. But at the end of the day, as a member of the Battlefield community, I think it's important to say that, hey, this isn't enough. Like this isn't what we're used to. This for the
Mhm.
price we paid, this isn't a AAA as promised, robust, and what did they say? Something about like a exciting and robust live service, engaging and robust live service. This is
Oh,
not that. So I think it's important. While we can be happy that they're making changes and improvements to the game, I just want everyone to understand that we shouldn't be this. I don't want this to be the new normal for the community. I don't want
right.
four post launch maps and that's it when we're used to much more than that.
Mhm.
Um, so that's my soapbox. I got on my high horse a little bit there.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, it's crazy, man. It's talk about a big disappointment, especially from myself, dude. Battlefield has always been my favorite game franchise over Call of Duty, and Battlefield's just dropped the ball so many years in a row now, and Call of Duty's done everything correct. Dude, I my first Battlefield was Battlefield 2. Then I was Battlefield 2 Modern Combat on the PS2, playing clan games and stuff. Back then, they had integrated into the game. They had clan support in the game, be able to create clan games in the game, leaderboards in the game for the clan stuff. You could do tournaments in game, and that's long gone after that game. That was the first console game. Played Battlefield Bad Company 1, 2, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1. Uh, and then unfortunately 2042, I skipped out on some in there too. But it's just crazy to see, especially what I consider peak Battlefield was Battlefield 3 in my opinion, and the content that was delivered then. We were getting like 3 or 4 maps per DLC content. I think it was 4 maps. We were getting a bunch of weapons, new vehicles, and the maps were amazing, man. Battlefield 3, if you go back and look at the DLC content we would get in those packs, the maps, those trailers for those DLCs are still, I go back once in a while, rewatch those DLC trailers for Battlefield 3. I mean, they were amazing. So yeah, Battlefield's really, really, I mean, I'm just gonna say they need to get their shit together going forward because this is completely unacceptable and it's ridiculous that I can't believe I paid $120 for something that their PR campaign lied to everybody about what the game was going to be. I mean, they just flat out lied, right? If and they knew because if they knew where the game was and the state it was in, and if they advertised it as it actually was, they weren't going to get sales. So they made their money and they're fulfilling their legal obligations with the skeleton crew to put out the bare minimum of content. That's just the fact of it. So, and also, Tensk had a good point on Twitter about with the class rework. I mean, we still have specialists. I really hate how the specialists look. I don't like any of them. They should have just put in the base classes, the AI soldiers that actually look like we're used to. I mean, we've always had your typical assault, engineer, sniper, support, all that. So, I mean, they're doing what they can do, I guess, with the limited amount of development team they have. But damn, man, the next Battlefield needs to be the best Battlefield ever made. If otherwise, this franchise is dead. I think that right now the franchise is dead, but it'll be the nail in the coffin if they can't make a huge comeback with the next title.
yeah, and that's something we said after Battlefield 5 too, right? And then this came out, but I
Mm-hmm.
but I think what should alarm Battlefield fans a little bit is I tweeted this out like a month ago and it went crazy. I don't think I was the reason, but there were a lot of articles and stuff after I tweeted it. They did not mention Battlefield in EA's earnings call a single
Yep.
time. The time before that, they said when asked about, the general bad reception of 2042, they said that it's like such a small, less than 10% of their portfolio, so they weren't too worried about it affecting things. So when EA stops caring about Battlefield and putting time and effort into it, that's when it's going to be a problem. So if they're not seeing that ROI, then that's just it's on the ropes. And I hope, I mean, with Vincent Pell and stuff, you would think seems like a really smart guy. He always comes out with bangers. So I just hope. I still I'm worried because I want a Battlefield game. I don't want a Titanfall game or a COD. I want a Battlefield,
Mhm.
and that's what he's made in the past. But I'm hopeful that they understand what the community wants, because I feel like it's been out there for a while.
Yeah.
The recipe for success for Battlefield.
And I don't want to be say, I'm this Battlefield fortune teller, but I did, one of my very first videos on this channel, I think I've discussed it here on the show before, way back when I was just didn't know what I was doing. It took me like 11 hours to edit it and post it. I didn't know what the heck was going on. But that was when Battlefield 5 was rumored to be a World War II game. And that video, I went into, why it shouldn't be a World War II game and really what it should have been. Ideally, it should have been modern, right? I don't think you can go from Battlefield 4 to Hardline, then to World War One, and then World War Two. I just don't think that's your Battlefield, like it or not, is known in its peak as a modern military shooter. Yes, it started in World War Two, but to go from 4 Hardline, World War One, which was still a good game, but again, the replay value on that after a few months, I was out of that. To Battlefield 5 was just a huge mistake. They needed to go modern after Battlefield 1. They needed to go modern after Battlefield 5. And they didn't. They just haven't done anything right. They've just really been dropping the ball. And you're right. The recipe for Battlefield is well known. It's been out there. I think everybody knows it. You just need to make Battlefield 3, but make it better. It's really it. And everyone would be happy. They need to play it safe. They need to make a good game. And honestly, if they need to, EA's got the big bucks. If they need to throw stacks of cash at the old Dice developers who have left since and get them back, just like Activision did for the Infinity Ward team, they need to do it, because Battlefield, man, it's in a really bad spot, and it sucks to see it here. And I know you and I are critical of it on this show, but ultimately, Battlefield, if there was a good Battlefield today, I would be playing it over Call of Duty, and I'd probably be covering it over Call of Duty. And that was always my goal as a content creator, is to be a Battlefield content creator. But Battlefield just, I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they should stop. Maybe they should stop making Battlefield games and make Barney the Dinosaur games. Maybe they'd be better at that.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Garfield Kart.
I think that's maybe more up their alley at this point.
We'll see. I hope they can turn it around. I guess the silver lining is that you could tell they are listening, because there's no way they could scrap specialists at this point with how they're, in the game engine, and they built everything around them. Like, I don't think they could really do that. So this is like best case scenario for that, and they're listening to people. Again, it's too slow. Hopefully the next one they get, but we'll have to check it out. So to tie up this conversation, this is the season 2 roadmap. You guys can see August, the specials, look at feel updates, which doesn't change anything. September ish is going to be the renewal map update in season 2 with the new map, new specialists, weapons, new vehicles, and new battle pass. And then October, and then later on, October, November, you're going to see the orbital map update. The specialist update does not come until like end of the year, and that's going to be well into Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2. So player numbers are going to get pretty interesting after Modern Warfare 2 comes out.
Let's mark this show as, we'll do a checkpoint at the launch of season 3, and we'll see how extra low the Battlefield player count is, because that game, no one's going to be playing it after Modern Warfare 2's out.
I don't think so either. And if you guys did notice, I used Battlefield 5 gameplay in my video today, because that's what I've been playing, and I still have fun with it. Battlefield 5 feels good to me, and I don't know if that's just because 2042 doesn't feel so good, but yeah. Should we move on?
Yeah, I guess I think that we pretty much covered everything. It's I like talking about Battlefield, but it's just always sad to talk about Battlefield.
It kind of is at this point. Hopefully it gets better. I really hope so. Yeah. So the next thing to talk about is the latest for Modern Warfare 2. We've been covering it quite a bit on this show in the lead up everything. Every time stuff happens, we kind of break it down and react to it on here. This week will be no different. However, there hasn't been a lot in the last couple days. The last intel drop we received was like the day after last week's show. So it's going to be something um, that was a while ago, and it wasn't a lot, but I definitely want to talk about it and kind of get your opinion.
Mhm.
I'll try to pull it up. You know what I'm talking about with the Alejandro Vargas? Talked about
Yep.
animating and acting and stuff like that.
Yep. I watched that a couple times. I didn't feel it was really worth doing a video about though. Same like some of these Intel drops, they're cool. Um, just not really worth doing a video on with, can't can't force the content. But I mean it was cool. Yeah. We'll talk about it here.
Yeah, see if I can pull it up. I wish I could. Somebody might know better than me, like how to loop videos in Twitter.
I do know, and I don't know if you even saw it. It was the unlisted video that kind of got out in the wild there on Friday night, showing stuff too, showing off like the campaign early access. But it was like a 30-second teaser showing a little bit of new footage as well.
It
So
showed some
we're
new
we're
footage.
getting some stuff.
It showed like the new footage of like when they're down in that ravine, right? Looking up
Yeah.
at the
Yep.
rocks and
Yep.
stuff. Yeah, that looked
Exactly.
pretty cool. In this intel drop, they talked about selecting the actor to play
Hmm.
Alejandro Vargas, and I thought it was pretty cool. This is something that I wish they would have done for Battlefield 2042. I love these intel drops. I love these look behind the scenes at like development and stuff like that. I really like these intel drops. I know they're small, but like keeping them like little bits and pieces in the lead up to when we're going to hear about everything like September 15th. I think is pretty cool. Um, do you? I've seen people say this, and I thought you mentioned. You think this guy's going to be a bad guy?
Um, I don't think so. I don't believe so, but it's definitely possible given that he's Mexican Special Forces, and we do hear him in the trailer. I mean, we're definitely going to be in Mexico, obviously with Mexican Special Forces. I think we that's kind of what we saw, that South America looking type maps. We can assume those are probably Mexico. And he does mention in the end of the trailer where they're showing like the mocap in game versus his mocap, and his dialogue there. He mentions whatever faction needs soldiers, not sicarios. So sicarios are cartel hitmen. So it confirms everything regarding the cartels, but it seems like he's going to be a good guy to me.
Okay. He could turn though. He could turn at any
He
time.
could. He could. I think it's definitely possible. I'll give it 50-50. I'm not quite I haven't seen enough. I think this is like the first time we've actually heard his character speak also. So I can't I haven't really heard enough or seen enough of the character to to go out on a limb and give you anything more than a 50-50 at this point.
Yep. Do you remember where that video, that unlisted video was from? Where I could find a link? Who posted it? If not, it's all right. I was
Um
gonna try to pull it up.
it was I think I reshared it on my Twitter from Friday night as well. So you can, if you look on my Twitter and scroll down through Friday,
All right. Let me
it
look.
should be there because it was on Twitter as well. So I posted the YouTube link, and I think that should be there from Friday night.
Okay.
Probably like 7-8 o'clock ish your time. Um, but yeah, I mean that if we can't get it up to see it, it's nothing crazy if we can't get it up, but it does show um, first person perspective as I'm gonna say is Ghost, because the gloves match, and the gun is gonna be the Q Honey Badger, and we've seen Ghost with the Q Honey Badger in the trailer, so it makes sense given the gloves and the weapon that you're Ghost. You hear Ghost's audio. You hear probably a little bit of Shepard, it sounds like, but that's really it. He's moving through the ravine. You hear some dialogue, and then you see kind of like an enemy encampment down in like the valley. And that's really it. And we do see an Mi-24 Russian Hind, I believe, is a helicopter we do see in that trailer. So, what's a Call of Duty game without Russians? So we'll have to wait and see if that's even the Russian faction. Obviously, other countries have Hinds as well. So I think it was cool, but I know there's in the campaign early access trailer itself earlier last week. We discussed it. There was that one shot of the weapon that we couldn't really identify, and a lot of people were saying it could be the MCX Spear, also known as the M5, based on the charging handle. But you really couldn't see any more of the weapon. And I noticed in this, I don't think it was the same weapon. It could be the same weapon, but the charging handle's identical to what we saw in the other trailer. The weapon, however, appears to be a different color. It also could have been a lighting thing. So a lot of people were saying in the original campaign trailer for early access that that was the MCX spear. I'm definitely not willing to go on a limb and say that confirms the spear. I know a lot of other content creators are saying the spear is definite based on the charging handle. I mean, I can go out and get like 3 gazillion charging handles to put on my AR-15 platform at any given time. So I think that's just, you definitely can't say it's a spear based on a charging handle.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering. I was gonna ask you. I always have to ask you if there's like any other stuff. I did find an image of it. I think it's the extended look. It's on
Okay.
somebody's Twitter. Sorry, the production team, man. It's just not
I mean,
good.
it's really not like anything special. It's so quick. And yeah, there's the hind in the enemy camp down there in the middle of the valley. So that's really it. It's super quick, but yeah, I mean that's the Q honey badger. I think it's the same weapon from the other trailer. I just think the lighting happened to be different because he's here. You know, you're walking in a ready stance. In the other trailer, it was you were in a what is it, low ready basically. So I mean you had your weapon down. So I think it's the same weapon, just the lighting. You see, I compared the charging handles and they're the same. So I think it's been the honey badger the whole time.
That's cool. I look forward to using that thing. And then, yeah, you just see a lot of really cool terrain. The lighting and stuff looks like a definite upgrade in the engine.
Yeah, yeah.
We talked about that a little bit last week, where they did the behind the scenes look at some of the development stuff too, talking about how there's actual real volumetric lighting, particles like similar to RTX.
Hmm.
Particles are actual 3D particles in space. Traditionally, when you'd see explosions and particles and dust and stuff like that, it was actually flat, quote unquote, sprites that were just on your screen, and it kind of mimicked 3D as you turn. This has actual true 3D effects and stuff like that. So while a lot of people are saying, it looks just like Modern Warfare 2019, there are some actual tangible upgrades to the engine that we've seen. I think people say that because um, it has that same like color scheme. It kind of has that same like vibe to it. But there are, if you nitpick it, if you pixel peep it just a little bit, you can see that there are definite upgrades to the engine. And again, the other thing to think about is like when you're trying to look at stuff like the development and like engine level type stuff. By the time we see this, it's been compressed so many times, like uploaded to YouTube. This is on a Twitter post, and stuff gets
Hmm.
flattened out, and you lose a lot of data and information. So for as many times as this has been compressed, I still think it looks exceptionally well.
Same,
Um,
yeah. I think it looks. I think you can clearly see the upgrade to the engine. Honestly, if it's just even the little bit we're seeing, to me, it's pretty obvious. There's a huge difference versus 2019.
yep. So I think, is there anything else Modern Warfare 2 related? I want to talk about it more, but I think we've like covered everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really it. We're definitely probably gonna get more intel drops tomorrow, Wednesday, and probably throughout the week. And we have season 5 launching this week, which we're about to cover. So I think Modern Warfare 2 wise, we're pretty up to date though.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess stay tuned to our personal channels, which the links are wherever you're watching are in the description. More than likely, I don't know, is it safe to say you'll like cover any weapons and vehicle breakdowns and stuff like that? And
Yeah, I'll definitely do weapons, vehicles. If there's enough vehicles to go through, we'll see. I mean, typically we haven't really seen that much. I can't make a video about, hey, look at the
look at the
2 second
helicopter.
clip of the high. Yeah, the helicopter. Make a
I
7 minute
mean,
video on it.
I mean,
So I
you could,
could, I,
you
I
could.
could, I could do
And
it.
then I've really been enjoying talking about the development part, the engine type stuff, gameplay balance and things like that we can find. Kind of let Buff handle all the cool weapon stuff because
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to really quick. We got Strike and Storm with the $5 over on my page, asking a quick question. You think we're going to see some type of a meta really on in the game's life cycle? And I think that's like a given, right? We've talked about that. I think there's definitely going to be the standout, but at this point, I think we can expect things to be more balanced moving forward. And I think we're into some surprises with the gunsmith. I think there's going to be more of a point system when you select things like attachments and weapons too to to help counter the meta issue. So we'll have to wait and see.
I hope so. It's likely. I feel like that a meta develops just because you have so many large creators and accounts and websites devoted to finding the meta. It's eventually going to get out there. Those are massive outlets of information. But
Mhm.
what we kind of talked about is if they do have the sliders where you can fine tune different attachments. We talked
Right.
about suppressors that maybe you can make them a little bit smaller so they're a little bit louder and
Mhm.
decrease range, but they make it to where you can ADS faster and stuff like that. If I feel like if they make it to where there's that granularity in tuning of attachments, there's a lot less likelihood of a meta. I'm hoping for that. It sounds like that's potentially what's going to happen, and that would be really cool. So your best meta is what works for your playstyle.
Right. Exactly. I hope that's the case. So we'll have to see. I mean, the beta's coming up, so we'll get our hands on it and see what's what.
Yeah, it sounds like Call of Duty next September 15th. We're going to get a whole lot of information, it sounds like.
Oh yeah, then I'm gonna be rocking that beta on the 16th with my superior PlayStation 5 status. So suck it.
I'm upset. I'm down bad. I'm coming over. I'll just drive it. What's probably like a 22-hour drive.
Yeah, do it up, man. Do it up.
Oh man. I hate the exclusivity deals. PC Master Race. Come on. Get it together. But yeah, that's I think all that's coming up. What are you most excited for? Campaign or multiplayer or Warzone?
Of those three, campaign for sure. I mean, I like all of it to be honest, but the campaign is always something really special for me with Call of Duty, all the way back to even the World War II ones. But COD 4, I always thought was so good, and ever since then, specifically with the Modern Warfare games, like the campaign is always something really really special for me. So I love playing through that.
I'm man, I've said it before, but I'm really hopefully gonna be able to focus in on gunfight. I feel
Mhm.
like I'm a top 20% PC over 35-year-old gunfight player. So if you put all those caveats on there, I feel like I'm pretty up there with gunfight,
Yeah.
and so I'm excited for that. Search and destroy, I want to get into right off the rip and learn
Oh
the
yeah.
maps and stuff like that.
That'll be good. That'll be
And
good. Yeah.
hoping DMZ is fully fleshed out, and I can use some of my COD experience and Escape from Tarkov experience to kind of cover DMZ a little bit.
Exactly. That's gonna be exciting. I hope there's a realism type mode too, because that'll be good.
I'm sure there will be. There really was with Modern Warfare 2019, and I've said that too. I think a lot of fans of this channel and stuff need to really enjoy the launch window, because after that,
Yeah.
as we're going to talk about with season 5 of Vanguard and Warzone, things can get a little wild. All right,
Mhm. You don't
things
say.
things can
Really?
get a little crazy. Yeah, let me show you what I'm talking. Let me
All right. Yeah.
what I'm
Let's see.
talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see.
Yeah, okay.
It's a World War II content drop, right? Vanguard, World War II. That's what are you talking about?
Yep. Sure is. And I remember when my granddad would sit down and talk to me about his experiences. What really turned the tide for the Allies was EM1 laser charge rifle. It really
Goddamn energy gun we had, man. Just
it really turned the
frying
tides
some
of the war.
crowds. Yeah.
So good. So good. That's I mean, you can really look at the tides of the war and how things were going and look at news articles, and man, when they came out with that laser gun, game over. Game over. So yeah, season 5 is out. I got the trailer playing up there now. There's a lot of returning characters, Mendez and stuff from older Call of Duties, Sarah from the Black Ops series, and just a mishmash of everything. This has to be the weirdest Call of Duty entry of all time. As far as like the look and the feel of it, I think it's just completely out the window. It obviously is completely out the window.
Oh, yeah.
They're just doing different things that they want to add to the game for the sake of adding them to the game, not caring about historical accuracy. I don't even want to say historical accuracy, because I've always felt like a truly historically accurate game would probably be pretty boring. But I mean, accurate enough to be immersive, and that's like totally out the window. And it's kind of
Vanguard missed the ball there 100%, man.
Yeah. It's just funny. It's funny to me at this point. But you do have to look. It is a free content update coming out August 23rd for multiplayer, and then 24th all the stuff makes it to Warzone. So I think it's kind of funny that they're going wild like that.
I can't wait to grind and unlock all the cool stuff.
I know. I'm always trying to get a hold of you to ask you questions about the show, and you're like, dude, I'm playing Vanguard. Leave me alone.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, just like don't even talk to me, dude. Vanguard's life.
I'm laser gunning with my Umbrella Academy skins in World War II. Get off me. All right, fine. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at it a little bit, because there are some gameplay things I feel like it's just worth skimming over real quick. Let me get the production team to change the fucking screen. All right.
I mean, honestly, if you guys want energy gun conversion videos, you know where to get those, because that's the first thing I'm gonna be covering tomorrow.
Yeah, soup those things up with some extra battery packs on the side.
I'm gonna show you guys what's up with the batteries and shit. We're gonna just shoot some lasers. It's gonna be crazy.
The Duracell add-on. Yeah. Everybody loves the lithium ion add-ons. Increase that range.
Yeah, I love when they came out with that too in the 1930s and 40s. Good.
Yeah, technology was a lot farther than you think. I watched the History Channel. I don't know about you. So yeah, it's kind of silly. Like, the game's completely off the rails, but whatever. It is what it is. That's what's going on. So, Operation Last Call is coming in Warzone. They're adding new stuff. There is a Caldera Peak POI update. Rebirth Island is getting Resurgence Supreme, which I don't know what that is, but I'm interested in it because Rebirth and Resurgence is like the only game mode that I somewhat enjoy besides Gunfight in 2019. Heroes and Villains community event. Get excited. Rage Serum, I'm guessing that's potentially for zombies mode. Supply box with UAV kill streak. It looks like the UAV emanates from the box if you hit it. A personal supply box. I have no clue what that is. Guys, if you have any questions about this, Google it for yourself later.
Yeah, we don't know.
Caldera only has a Doomsday Station. There's some new zombies content. Shout out for those people. Excited for that. New maps for multiplayer. Double the amount of... I like that the games released about the same time, and 2042 is almost the season 2. Like, getting close. We're still in season 1, and this game is actually coming out with season 5. So
yeah.
Pretty sweet. The new maps for multiplayer are Beheaded and Fortress is coming later. That multiplayer map actually looks kind of cool. Like, it looks really silly, but like it looks kind of cool. And then you see the skins in the bundles. Raul Mendez, Al-Assad's making his return. Seraph from the Black Ops series, and Gabriel Rourke. The EX1 laser gun again. Excited to use this. My grandfather couldn't say enough good things about the EX1 during World War II. It was amazing. It really turned the tides of the war. A revolver with a knife on the end of it. RA-255. It looks like an FN 2000 with no scope. BP-50. And then the Liena 57. So just some far out World War II weapons.
I mean, the F2000 doesn't have a buttstock either, so you get to put your shoulder right on the back of that magwell and just let her rip, huh?
I'm sure it'll be fine. It won't hurt anything. And then, you have the Horsemen of the Apocalypse bundles with Death and Pestilence. And then everybody's favorite World War II heroes, the Umbrella Academy, Cha-Cha, and Hazel, are making their way into the game. Yeah, so that's coming. On one side, it's completely silly and out of left field for a World War II game. I essentially would not call Vanguard a World War II game. It's just a silly time period game, but it's content, so that's better than some games, right? I guess
it is content. You're not wrong.
It is stuff for a game.
Yeah.
So that's good. I was going to look through here real quick and see if there's anything. I didn't prepare very well because I'm terrible and this show sucks. But there are some stuff on the screen here. I was going to look through the blog post to see if there's anything. The Peak Volcanic looks cool. It looks like they're adding like lava flows and stuff to the Caldera Peak. So maybe this is going to be the end of Caldera, where it's going to explode and be the end of that godforsaken map. A new Gulag you can see based on the old one. It's a tiny map. Again, this picture caught me off guard. Sorry to the podcast listener, you can't see it. But I did see this picture and it looked exactly like my grandpa's uniform in World War II. Jeez, look at this, man. It's crazy. Whatever.
I don't know what to say about it, man.
Look at the dual Mausers with chains on them and barbed wire.
Steampunk operator there.
Yeah, I think
Whatever that is.
I think those were the ones Hitler actually used. Then if you go down, there's a Doomsday Station. I was gonna see what the supply box was. Essentially, the only thing I kind of cared about was this: activate the new supply box UAV kill streak for assistance in tracking down more items. It will mark nearby unopened supply boxes on player's tac map for around 15 seconds. Oh, cool! It's a supply box UAV. That's pretty cool, I guess. Personal supply box track down this extremely rare crate with an assistance of a supply box UAV to acquire your favorite loadout weapons in Warzone. Each squad member gets a huge XP boost as well, so that's pretty cool. I wanted to see what the resurgence mode was. I must have missed it. But yeah.
I'm curious if they even explain it. Yeah. I didn't read the blog.
Are you excited to get in here?
I mean, dude, as soon as it downloads on my PlayStation, I know what I'm doing.
Look at it.
It's really
look at it.
Looks so good, man.
Yeah, it does. Actually, I kind of want to see that map. The map actually looks kind of cool. It looks completely silly and dumb, but oh man, right there you go. Vanguard.
Man, it's hard to take. I don't even know what. I mean, it's honestly like it's cool. They're throwing all this crazy shit in there. It's neat. I can look past the fact that it was a World War II game because it really wasn't a World War II game. I don't know what it was. I don't know what their market. I don't know what their target audience was either with this game. So it's cool. They're like just throwing everything in there. That's pretty neat. But man, we need Modern Warfare 2 and we need Warzone 2 and we need to get out of this ASAP. That's all I can say.
Yep. And like I've been saying, guys, I'm gonna get this on a t-shirt. We're gonna have merch that says enjoy the launch window of Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2, because it's probably gonna get a little wild. All right, it's probably gonna get a little crazy down the road. I can't find it. It's in here somewhere.
Well, I'm sure we're not missing much, to be honest.
Yeah, all right. This is terrible. Look at the production team just floundering.
Can we take bets about how OP this energy gun's gonna be? Like, there's always some broken meta. So, this thing, I just can't wait to see the videos on, what is it, Wednesday when everything goes to Warzone. Just like how busted, like this gun is. Just like energy beaming people across Caldera, one-hit kills.
Yeah.
And Raven will be like, oh boy, what do we do? How do we code games? Don't know.
Yeah, I totally feel like the higher up the gun is on the battle pass, even though it's free, the more tiers it costs to buy, so the more OP the gun is, because they want you to buy tiers to get it fast. So they make the new season guns like super OP. I suck. I can't find it. This is dumb. I'm sorry. I failed all of you, and probably never watch the show again.
Yeah. How dare you?
I wasted everybody's time, even more so than normal. So yeah, is there anything else COD wise? I wish there was more to talk about, honestly, for Modern Warfare 2, but I think we've covered it a lot.
Yeah, not really anything else. I don't think really. I think the only question I see in chats is the FN 2000 going to be using Vanguard attachments, or is it going to be a peek at Modern Warfare 2 attachments? So most likely it'll probably be like what we can see with Modern Warfare 2 attachments coming up, but I really hope it's not. I kind of want that to be a surprise, to be honest. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I guess that's the only gun I actually give a crap about, but I don't like how they just left the buttstock off it.
Yeah, it's weird. That's just all there is to it. It's just weird. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was, we're kind of falling on the weird train, but I thought this game, in its final beta, Super People, was worth talking about, because I think it's kind of a big deal as far as showing that battle royales are not dead. There are a shitload of people playing this game on PC, and I know you're probably not as familiar with it. So I kind of wanted to, if you're cool with it, just kind of talk about it a little bit and kind of get your reaction to what you think of it.
Yeah, let's do it. I've never heard of this game. So
okay, a lot of people, let's get into it a little bit. A lot of people are calling it like PUBG 2.0. It looks a lot like PUBG. There's that, but then on top of that, they add like a class system. So there are specialists essentially that are in the form of super people, but I don't think they're too crazy. And honestly, I feel like battle royales are a place. Apex Legends shows us this, where a class system, or excuse me, a specialist system with abilities isn't the worst thing. I don't feel like it feels good in multiplayer, but I feel like it kind of does here. But there are a lot of people playing this game. I messed up. I already messed up the topic deal, guys. Come on, firing all these people behind the scenes. So yeah, super people. 4 million people were playing this game as of the last beta. Wow. It's kind of towards the top of Twitch. A lot of people are playing. I think Doc and Tim played it today. Honestly, what got me thinking about it was last night Shroud was playing it, and it brought me back to the glory days of PUBG when Shroud and Doc were always playing PUBG together.
Oh yeah.
I used to love to watch Shroud play that. So watching him play this was a lot of fun. So essentially what it is was they had a tournament too that like tournaments will open every evening in each region, and everybody could hop into them and become the last team standing and win a total prize pool of $75,000. So they put like an esports thing that everybody could just freely enter. So that got a lot of people in there, I feel like. The game's final beta is live from the 16th through the 30th. So there's another week of the final beta, and then 1.0 is going to release sometime pretty soon. So the map's called Orb Island. Again, it looks very PUBG-like. I'll try to find some gameplay and show you what and see what you think of that. There are 13 playable classes in the game, each of which come with its own traits and ultimate abilities. Straight up specialist action. Each character is unique and offers different playstyle every time you drop into Orb Island. There is a Gatling soldier, a firepower fanatic that sets the battlefield ablaze with a fiery Gatling gun. That's one of them.
Sounds like me.
Shotgun master. This one sounds like me. In real life. Deadly predator that leaps towards enemies and finishes them off with lethal shotgun blast. So none of these are like super crazy, except the teleporter guy we'll get to. Strike force, an agile assassin that moves and eliminates enemies at blinding speed. So this guy's really fast. A sniper. We'll go out on a limb here and say that he probably snipes. Cold-blooded killer that hides in the shadows. Camper. I'm not even talk about it anymore.
Yeah, get out of here.
A seeker, a lone wolf that prowls the battlefield, tracking, hunting down any hapless prey at high speed. A gas soldier. That could be me in real life. A fearsome pyromaniac that annihilates hostiles with incendiary rounds and toxic fumes. My wife would say that's me. The veteran warrior who dominates the marine opponents with amphibious attacks into a wall of fog. So it's a marine that acts like a SEAL, Navy SEAL. So they got that a little bit off. Yeah.
Looks cool.
Yeah, it kind of does look cool. The teleporter, a versatile super soldier that specializes in sharpshooting and teleportation. The SWAT looks pretty cool too. The master of urban warfare that excels in breaching buildings and blacking out enemy vision. And then a firearms expert, a crafty soldier who wipes out enemies after slowing them down with a force field. I also saw Choco Taco playing as this character, and he was doing weapon upgrades on the fly. Like he was a firearms expert, so he was able to like change his guns and add attachments and stuff to it. It was pretty cool. Nuclear and explosive expert that's always followed by a trail of explosions and gunpowder smoke. And then driver, an essential teammate that can summon an armored vehicle to the battlefield. Titan, a super soldier that can control the battlefield with a titanic shield. The reason I thought this was cool, I don't know if you know what this gun is, but my dad has one in real life. It's a Winchester 1887 lever action 10 gauge. So,
nice.
So it's pretty cool. I've shot one of these in real life. My dad has one. It's a really cool, super old school gun. But yeah. So that is all the characters and things that work together on a map. I'll try to pull up like a trailer or something so you can see. But like initial thoughts on a PUBG 2.0 with like specialist.
Yeah, I mean it looks pretty neat, honestly. I'm curious what the gameplay looks like. I know everyone in chat's saying it's basically PUBG, but like a little goofier. So I'm curious how it looks and plays. This is the first I'm hearing of it too. So I don't know when it was announced, obviously. I missed it, but
Yeah, so there is that. A lot of people have been playing it and liking it, so I think I'm gonna try to get into it before it releases. But you can really see like the PUBG resemblances for sure. When you check it out, I mean
yeah,
that looks
that
like
looks pretty.
Erangel.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty. Seen a little bit of the gameplay there in the beginning. It looks pretty sick. Yeah, the map's huge. Holy cap. Yeah,
Yeah,
that looks nice.
the map is really big. Some of it looks silly. Like some of it makes it look like a mobile game. I don't know. It's weird. Like sometimes it looks really impressive, and sometimes I feel like it looks like a mobile game. But the map is huge, and this is what I always wondered why they didn't do with Fires. Well, they kind of did with Firestorm, but they needed to do it a little bit more in Battlefield 5. Was there's the guy making an upgrade to his gun, I think, with the hammer and anvil. But yeah, there's even though the map's huge, the circle starts at a different spot on the map, and it's actually pretty small when it starts.
Okay.
So I thought that was pretty cool. It's a way to use one map but make the games all play differently by using different parts and stuff of it. So yeah, I just wanted to make people aware of it because it's a pretty big deal right now over as far as player counts go and on Twitch and stuff. I think I'm gonna try it before the beta.
Yeah, it looks pretty sick, and 4 million people playing it last time, and if Doc and everyone's playing it now in Shroud, like that looks pretty sweet, man. Honestly, definitely something I'll watch. I don't know if I'll play it, but if I watch it enough and like it, I might try it out.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been watching a lot of it. I'm not sure if I have any more room like in my already filled up hard drive up here to learn another game because there was a lot of stuff on the HUD. It looked pretty complicated with all the abilities and stuff like that. But I have been enjoying watching it again, and I think it shows. I think it shows with that many people checking it out that there is a market still for a battle royale that introduces something new and different. I don't think BRs are dead by any means, as much as some people would want them to be.
No, I think this was gonna blow up, dude. Honestly, it gives me like big Apex Legends type out of nowhere vibes. Obviously, the game looks really, really refined, and it's more down to earth than Apex too. I think this looks like it's very well thought out. It's not something that was rushed out. So it looks to me, I mean, it's pretty clear it's gonna be a big hit. Obviously, you already have 4 million people playing. It's gonna be huge.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't even think of that. Like if you had to say what is it like, it almost like it sits right in between an Apex and a and PUBG. It's
Yeah, exactly.
see there? Look at that. Something I didn't even think about. There you are. Genius.
Boom.
So yeah, that is Super People. Check it out if you're interested. If you're bored, kind of like we are, waiting for Modern Warfare 2. Something you might check out. It doesn't cost anything to try. And if you're insane, you can win 75 grand in an esports tournament. So there you go.
Get on it, Crash.
I'm terrible at games. I'm too old for that shit. All right, so let's talk about your favorite segment of every program. Are you ready?
Yeah. I'm ready, man.
Here it is. Quick shots time, boys.
There it is.
There it is. So yeah, this is the part of the show where we talk about some smaller news stories. We talk about them a little bit quicker and go through them. I honestly need to pull up what we're talking about because I've already forgot. Yeah. So the one thing I wanted to talk about, did you see the video? Tom Henderson tweeted this. We talked about the Reddit post, but this person made an actual video of the missing Battlefield 4 campaign.
Black Ops 4 campaign?
Yeah. Did I say Battlefield 4?
You did, yeah.
Jesus. The Closet Indian is the name of the channel. I definitely recommend checking it out because he did an exceptional job on this video.
Wow.
There's information and stuff from developers. There's never before seen footage too.
Okay.
So I definitely recommend checking this out. But he goes into like the whole thing about Black Ops 4 and what went wrong with it and why it was taken out, but also gives some really cool details on the Black Ops 4 campaign. And if you're kind of like me and like really excited for DMZ or hopeful for DMZ, this is kind of an interesting watch because I could picture DMZ playing like this.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about how it was going to be more of like a 2v2 kind of race through the campaign where you have a handler that gives you different missions and stuff, and almost no playthrough goes the same or has the same ending. It was all dynamic and stuff like that. And he talked about individual scenarios where depending on which faction you were you were part of, like the United Nations type one or the Free People's Army. Those were the two factions, something along those lines. He gave an instance of one mission where the one faction was trying to protect a cargo truck, and the other two were trying to stop it and attack it. And there was just a lot of like, yeah, the Free People's Army and the World United Nations were the different ones. But see, like I said, that's like never before seen footage of the campaign. So it's a really cool video. It talks about and there it is. There's kind of like a flow chart. Sorry, podcast listener. There's like a flow chart of like how the missions work, and like that it takes you into different parts of the flow chart on what you do next, depending on if you win or lose the matches.
That's cool.
So no, it was really interesting, and since they said that DMZ has been in the works since like 2018, I could see them kind of doing something like this because it's got kind of 2v2, so you have PvP and PvE like rumored with DMZ, and you also have like tons of different replayability and how things work, and tons of missions and. I don't know. I just thought it was really well done and really interesting. It was put together. It's like a 40-minute video, and it's put together in like documentary style.
That's pretty sick. Yeah, I just went to his channel on my other screen. I'm gonna check that out later because I enjoyed Black Ops 4. Played a little bit of multiplayer. Really loved Blackout. That was the main reason I got it. But the campaign would have been pretty neat.
Yep. And yeah, Frank talks about being excited for DMZ. I am too. This is definitely a video for you guys to check out, because it really does make me think that it could be like that. It seems like a really cool and neat, different system that they wouldn't just throw it away forever. It seems like they put a lot of work into it and got it pretty far along, and then kind of abandoned it last minute. For Blackout, but you can look on there. He talks about there's some never before known stuff about some of the Black Ops specialists. I'm not gonna spoil it, but you find out. You remember Spectre, the Spectre specialist with.
Yep.
You find out. I'm not even gonna say their gender. You find out who they are, through some of the files and stuff that he found. Okay. I don't want to spoil it at all. So I know there's been stuff talked about could be either way. So I don't want to spoil anything. I want you guys to watch it, check it out, and just if you're jonesing for DMZ info, you can be crazy like me and project yourself into it.
Dig it. Looks cool. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out for sure.
Because can you think of any other game that had something like that, like a 2v2 kind of campaign?
I think like my mind's going to like some old PS3 or 2 shooters, but not like online type stuff or anything. There's been like some similar stuff in the past, but not quite to that extent.
I think, yeah. I thought it was unique, and I thought it was kind of a shame that they actually got rid of it. So now it's time for the next quick shot. The next thing I wanted to talk about is it seems like we touch on this a little bit now and then about Halo. Almost every week we say something mentioned about Halo. There are a couple things that I wanted to talk about in regards to Halo this week. I feel like it's in a rough spot. We all kind of know that it is, but there are some things on the horizon that could really turn around for the game. I feel like this is one thing. This is an article by Deserto. I saw it day before yesterday. Some folks on Twitter leaked these images of the actual battle royale screenshots of the menu. Codenamed Tatanka is the name of the game mode. It's a last player standing mode. It talks about sheds more light on the mode. You can see right here. Here is the image potentially. Yeah, there's the image. So you can see the test triples, Tatanka free for all, so solos and quads.
Okay.
So that's in the game. We've known that was kind of the code name of the BR for a while. They did like a last player standing game mode season or two ago. I tried it. It wasn't good. But it wasn't a true BR. So I don't know. This talks about I was going to see if I can find it. like being the last person standing. Yeah, it reads like the metadata reads, "Welcome to the ring. Emerge victorious by being the last player standing." So sounds like it's a straight up BR. Shows multiple versions, including triples, quads, and free for all. Not only do they fit with the classic versions of the battle royale players have come to expect, but the description that we just said also fits the BR formula.
Hmm.
So I mean, player numbers have been down. Halo is a game that I have been incredibly floored with the lack of content in this game as well for a AAA game.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, and I think a BR would be one thing that would get people to come back. Would you try? Oh, can you try it? You'd have to be on PC.
I'd have to do it on PC. Honestly, I just never really been a big Halo fan. I played a little bit in like the dorm rooms back in college with my buddies who had Xbox, but never really been a big Halo guy, honestly. But I always enjoy kind of watching other people play. Just not my cup of tea, but I do like watching it and following it for sure. I did actually know in high school one of my buddies in high school was like one of the best players in Halo in the world and was doing tournaments and stuff. So he was like, I have no idea what his username was, but he was a ranked player and doing a lot of the tournaments, and he was getting sponsorships and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of cool Halo memories too. And I'm hoping it kind of turns around. I played a fair amount of it, and it felt pretty good. But here's where I'm gonna try to get you again. I'm gonna try to draw you in again. I don't know if you saw this. This looked really cool. And Operation Metro was put into Halo Forge. Have you seen this?
No, I have not.
Dude, check this out. It's insane.
I'm already pumped.
Yeah. So we've talked about how Halo Forge could really turn this game around. And so look at this thing. It is like Metro, it done in Halo Forge. So you can see he's using a Halo weapon going up the escalator. You can see like all the different, like the restrooms and stuff on the side and the elevators. They even put the
okay.
signs up and everything. So yeah, and I made this tweet that I thought was kind of silly. It's like Halo could legit get Operation Metro before Battlefield Portal. Like it's actually looking like that's going to be the case.
That's crazy, dude.
So it's like
it looks pretty sweet too.
it does, man. I was like the lighting and everything, like it's got that blue like Battlefield 3 vibe to it.
Yeah.
I feel like we should do like a featured like or Forge map of the week or
Map
something.
of the week, yeah, exactly.
Because it seems like
100%.
every week a really cool one pops up. And I guess these are people that have access to the Forge beta.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them, I guess, I want to try to catch it. A lot of these artists do this on stream, and you can see them like blocking it out and working on it. I think that would be really informative to watch and see like how easy it is to use and like how the tools and stuff work. But it's insane, man. Like
I'm trying to think. Was it Far Cry 5 that also had some sort of like custom map thing that they were doing? Maybe I'm mistaking the game, but like this isn't, that stuff like this has been around. I remember maybe it was Far Cry 5. I can't remember. Had like a community would make the map, and I remember playing some Battlefield 3 maps that the community members made. It looked like crazy. So this reminds me of that too. I mean, yeah, dude, it looks awesome. I loved Metro. Metro's, man, the battles on there, like my Battlefield 3, we hosted a server. It was like thousands of tickets. So like a match would last like anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. And just like I have the screenshots of me dropping like 190 kills and shit. It was crazy.
Yep. I can't believe Portal doesn't have Metro. Just for people to do those kind of meat grinder custom experiences. Like it would bring so many people back just to try that, I feel like. But yeah, having it come to Halo, it just shows that this really could. I feel like between the BR and between and I mean, I think it's like Leo's questioning the realness of it. I think it's legit. I mean, you see him throwing a grenade. It's got the Halo HUD and everything, which I guess could be Photoshop. But I mean, what would this be Photoshop from? Because it's not the actual map.
No way. Even, I mean, it's
Photoshop.
more reminiscent of Battlefield 4, but you can obviously see it's not it's not just Battlefield 4 map with the imposed Halo HUD or anything like that. Like this obviously was remade. So
yeah. So I'm really excited for Halo Forge. I'm gonna have to figure out like how to download like modded content and stuff like that. I think it could be really cool. But yeah, that would be, I guess, Halo Forge map of the week. Pretty cool.
Beautiful.
So in the next quick shot, this is kind of up my alley a little bit because I, for some reason, still play a decent amount of a decent amount of Rainbow Six. So I wanted to talk about the new season because that is fairly big news. And I mean, I feel like even if you play it or not, it's still kind of a big deal to see a game in year 7, season 3, still
Yeah.
get supported like this. So it's pretty cool. I'll go over it really, really briefly because I know I'm probably in the minority of people that still play this game. There's going to be a new operator called Grim, and he brings the Quan Hive launcher, an over-the-shoulder launcher that sends out a swarm of B-shaped nanobots to mark whoever walks through them. It's a defender that can kind of set these traps, and if someone walks through them, it will ping them for the enemy team. So I think that's good. Tag Raccoon's one of the attackers will be able to track you. Oh, so I'm sorry. He's an attacker. So this is kind of going to be for like flank watch and stuff. So like if you're pushing through, you've drone stuff out, you're worried about someone coming in behind you while you're pushing into sight around corners and stuff, you can put these canisters with nanobots in them. And if they get close to him, it'll set off the trap so your team can see. So I think it's going to be used mainly. He's mainly going to be used for like a flank watch. Some of the other things, they're really like completely reworking. I'm not going to get into the details. There's going to be a new. They're completely reworking recoil, completely reworking muzzle attachments, suppressors, and everything. So the guns are getting a massive rework. A lot of the operators are as well with damage values and stuff like that. There's going to be a new impact EMP grenade, so you don't always have to use for different. It's like a third attachment. So like you get your grenade and then you get another gadget on top of your like main gadget. There's gonna be an EMP grenade like Thatcher, so maybe he won't be used or banned as much. It won't be as important. Rook is getting a huge buff. He's the one that drops the armor plates. You put on extra armor plates. You get an extra 20 health, and you also are able to withstand and revive yourself if you get downed. So I think that's a pretty big deal. Dokubi's logic bomb gadget gets buffed when she buzzes and hacks your cell phones. So that's pretty big deal. And then the new map, probably the last big thing that I wanted to talk about was the Stadium Bravo. So when they did the lead up to the 6th Invitational in 2021, I believe, this is a map that combines the maps of Border and Coastline together. There's different rooms from each of those, and then they're kind of balanced and stuff for esports. So this is the map that's going to come back and be in the ranked map pool, it sounds like. And the map ban phase will have 5 maps instead of 3 to promote more map diversity and allow more maps to remain in the pools. So yeah. They're also doing more stuff with player issues, implementing reputation penalties and stuff for people who are abusive in chat, which I think is good. And yeah, there's a lot of other changes, but those are the big ones.
Yeah, I remember I saw the trailer the other day and it looked pretty sick. So I mean, that's a lot of changes for a game that is that old. The rework, the recoil, and the attachments. I mean, that's unheard of, to be honest.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes happening. So they change it all the time. It's like always been like this, where they make huge changes to the game. So I definitely have to commend it. But that's the operator. That's what he looks like with his nanobots. So yeah, I mean it's gotten a little wild. It's gotten a little wild with the stuff, with the gadgets and things like that. But it's still a fun game in my opinion. I can't imagine picking it up now though, like, and learning all that stuff.
When I picked it up for the first time, like summer 2019, before Modern Warfare, like it was a lot of fun, but at that time there was still so many like operators in there that you needed to know, and I was just going with the base guys. I had a lot of them unlocked 'cause I got one of the different editions, but yeah, I mean that's a game you got to know. You got to know how to counter different operators, and it's a complicated game. If I picked it, I wouldn't have the patience to relearn it today. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you could be like me and play a worst case scenario where you play it like a couple times a month and have to like remember everything, and you can't because you're old, and it doesn't go well usually. But
Last time I played, I was like trying to I was fused, and I was trying to like blow through the wall and then like repel out and in and break through, and I like couldn't. I just like forgot all the controls and was just blowing it. It was embarrassing. So I was like, yeah, maybe I better stop.
yep. Yeah, there's a lot to it. But it's really fun when you have those like clutch up moments, or
Hmm.
when you there's so much into the game that you can work together and play off your friends and communicate and kind of achieve a goal. It's pretty cool when it works out.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
not as cool when you're on the other side of that. All right, the last. This is all you, Buff. We're going to talk a little bit about The Last of Us on HBO and PS5. Take it away.
Oh
What's on
yeah.
your mind?
Yeah, so if anyone was paying attention yesterday, and I'm sure it's all over social media, over on Twitter. So HBO with the opening trailer at for the new Game of Thrones prequel, House of Dragons, they had like their intro, advertise what HBO Max has coming, like currently has. And one of those things upcoming was in 2023, The Last of Us, which is the TV series coming to HBO Max. So I felt this would be a good thing to talk about today, because we do have the PS5 remaster version. They went back through and remade the whole game for PS5 of the first Last of Us, and that's coming out next Friday, I think it is, September 2nd on PS5. Um, so not only do we get the series coming early 2023, but the game. So if you guys aren't familiar with this, I mean, this is something I think I'm going to be out of town that weekend, but I'm probably going to do the playthrough of this game because of all of the, and Crash, if you haven't played it, definitely, man, because of all of the games, movies, books, like this is the hands down the best story I've ever experienced. And part of that was the magic of playing through it for the first time. This is a game I couldn't put down, but damn, I mean, if there's a perfect story out there, The Last of Us game, the first one, might just be perfect because it was really good. So obviously we have that coming out next week on PS5. So I'm going to be playing that. I suggest everyone at least check it out. If you're not going to buy it for the price, watch it on my channel or someone else's channel. And then obviously the HBO show coming in 2023, and there's a pretty good cast for that. You have like Pedro Pascal is playing Joel, the main character, and then Bella Ramsey's playing Ellie, the other main character. Gabriel Luna is playing Joel's brother Tommy. So you have a really good cast here. I think Nick Offerman's in there playing Bill. So um, definitely check this out, guys. If you haven't played the game, not only is the game amazing, the soundtrack is amazing, and just like being myself who had played through the game and then seeing the trailer, there's so many just like little moments that you pick out from the story, and wow, really really sick. So I definitely suggest checking that out, and definitely stay tuned for the series when it comes to HBO next year. But the game's definitely a good one. So if you guys haven't played it, do
Were
it.
have there been any rumors of it coming to PC? I know they've been talking like God of War eventually came to PC. Are they going to do that with Last of Us?
I'm not sure, to be honest. It's weird because they this released in 2013, I believe it was originally. They did a remaster on the for the PS4, 2016ish, somewhere in there, and now it's remastered for the PS5. So if it's not out on PC yet, I don't have high hopes. Maybe somewhere down the line it would, but I mean, this is the story. I can't emphasize enough how crazy this story is, and it's fun to play through also the game. I mean, it's a fun game to play, but you're basically playing and living through what is a movie essentially, and the
That's cool.
story, the character, you're so invested in the characters. By the time you get to the end, it's just like the weight and the gravity of every decision you make throughout the course of the game is crazy. So,
Yeah, if you do a playthrough, I'll definitely watch it. I don't have a PlayStation. Like I totally went PC only. Too sad. I'm so sad.
and
Um,
that's unfortunate too, because like people, again, this is a PS exclusive. This is So yeah, Xbox, PC guys haven't ever played this. So I would definitely suggest before the series comes out, I would say you want to at least watch through a playthrough to compare it, because like movies are never as good as books. I mean, HBO does a great job with their adaptations, but I'm gonna be able to. That's something I'll probably cover on the channel too when it comes out, because like playing the game, um, you know, I'm so invested in what that game was with the characters and what the story was. So I'm really interested to see how HBO does their interpretation of it.
That's really cool. Yeah, if you do a playthrough, I'll definitely watch it. That looks. I think I watched a little bit of it during the original release, a little bit of a playthrough. But a lot of these like story game modes, I really do enjoy watching creators just play through them and hanging out in chat.
Yeah.
So if you do a playthrough of it, I'll definitely hang out and watch it because it. I mean, like you said, it's like you're in a movie, so it's like kind of like watching a movie. You just gotta get
Yeah.
it, hang out,
And
and check it out.
this was a long story too. I mean, I don't know. It took me a couple weeks to, if not a month or more to get through this playing, if not every day, every couple days or something. So it's not like it's a 4 hour playthrough either. So that's what part of what makes you so invested is you're in this world for quite a long time.
Interesting. Hmm. Yeah, that's cool. I'd like to check it out. So
Definitely.
hopefully you do a playthrough.
Oh yeah.
Um, is that the end of the quick shots? I didn't need to do that
Think
at the
so.
end. I just wanted to.
You have to. It's a great sound effect.
I like it more than I should. So yeah, guys. Do you have time for a little bit of a chat Q&A?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, guys. In chat. Again, we are broadcasting on multiple channels, but the chat is consolidated on the screen. So wherever you're watching, you can type questions in and or things you want to talk about, and we will address those. While you guys are doing that, I do definitely want to mention Gamescom is coming up soon. I kind of want to do I don't know. I thought about doing a co-stream and watching it, but we'll definitely have like reaction to anything pertinent to first-person shooters at Gamescom next episode. So stay tuned to
Mhm.
the show for that. We'll be checking out everything that is Gamescom. That is in a couple days. So if you're interested, if you don't want to watch, 4 hours of all kinds of weird and crazy games to see like the 2 or 3 first-person shooters, stay tuned to us and we'll break it all down and react to those. Um, so
Absolutely, yeah, and I'm just gonna start it off. One of the top ones there that already cycled through, but it's on my screen for the Q&A. Sergio asked, "Do you think they will add Verdansk back to Warzone 1 after Caldera gets destroyed?" I think if they actually destroy Caldera, they will add it back into Warzone 1, which I think they're going to be titling Warzone Legacy going forward. But they said Verdansk will be coming back. Just a matter of, will it be only in Warzone 2? Will it be in Warzone 1 or Legacy? We'll have to see. But if they're actually destroying Caldera, I think you need to bring Verdansk back.
yep. Definitely. I I the only thing holding them back, I feel like, is the download size because
Hmm.
it's already massive, and then you add that map back that was like a bunch of data. But I've always thought that that would be the perfect nostalgia bomb right before
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2 comes out to get people hyped up for it. So I think they should. I don't know if they will, just based on that stuff.
Yeah. 100%. We'll have to see.
Um. Uh. Bulletkin asks, here's a question for you both. Are either of you interested in Stalker 2? Yes.
Yes.
Definitely want to check that out. Some of those survival type games, definitely want to check out that and like Road to Vostok. I want to get more into those. I never played Stalker 1, but like the videos of it and stuff look really really cool. So
I've been watching some Stalker like playthroughs on other channels recently for some older ones. So I was debating maybe buying some of the older ones that are pretty cheap now and doing it on PC. But yeah, definitely Stalker 2. I'm definitely gonna be getting.
yeah, I want to check it out for sure. I hope they can get it developed okay with all the stuff going on over there. I know it's been
Hmm.
kind of delayed due to the stuff with
Yeah.
Russia and everything. So I hope they can stay safe and get it out the door. Excited for
Hmm.
it. Liberation asks, do you believe that they should address the issue with hackers in R6? That's always a problem with Rainbow Six, and it's just always going to be a problem. I know they do the blogs where they talk about what they're doing, but that's always a main concern of the Rainbow Six community.
Hmm.
They've always had a hard time getting them out of there.
Yeah, I remember even back like years ago, right? Like probably like season 2 is when they got really bad, or 3, and they had to do the Operation Health. So it's nothing new.
Yep, unfortunately. Um, Buff, do you think Modern Warfare 2 will bring back the M27 or HK416A4?
Yeah, Leo, good question. I think we'll see. I think we'll see one of them. And like I said, for Modern Warfare, you could add one of those and have conversions for multiple. So if we get if we get an M27, if we get a 417 or a 416, you have so many different conversions possible there. So I would like to see, even if that weapon's not exclusively there, with the new uppers and stuff, who knows what you'll be able to make. We'll have to get into it, but it would make sense that they'll do it. And I honestly expect we'll see a G28. And with those conversions, I think we could make those.
Yep. And then this is a really good question from Morgan. Considering Infinity Ward is supposedly dropping the Modern Warfare series following this one, sad face, where do you think Call of Duty will go moving forward? What would be your ideal modern setting?
Damn, that's a really good question.
That's a really good question.
Ideal modern setting. Jesus. Honestly, dude, I'm like the Sicario type setting, which is kind of, I guess, what we're going to be getting with Modern Warfare 2 is my ideal type modern setting. So where will COD go after this? I hope we see other studios make their try at a modern-ish type setting, because we haven't seen any other studio really do that. I would like to see Treyarch try a modern-ish setting, and some others, but ideal modern setting. I mean, I think for me that's kind of what we're getting with Modern Warfare 2, to be honest.
So do you want? I'm gonna make everyone mad, and if everyone leaves the chat after this, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a really fun episode, but I want to see Advanced Warfare 2. Now wait, just wait a second. Advanced Warfare was like really my first Call of Duty playing it. I came to gaming really late. Like my parents wouldn't let me play growing up. So like it has a special place in my heart. I really like that setting for like a near future experience, like what 2042 had been. I would like to see a continuation of that story, but an EMP has struck and the exosuits don't allow you to double jump anymore. There you go. I want to see another Advanced Warfare game with no exosuit jumps.
I honestly, I actually really liked Advanced Warfare, and I was kind of like in between. I wasn't really seriously gaming at the time. I like just moved into an apartment with a roommate, and like we would play that for just like fun, just at night, just like goofing around, taking turns in multiplayer, and I got my old competitiveness back a little bit. And yeah, I mean, I actually really enjoyed that. The campaign was really fun too, so I actually liked that game, believe it or not.
I did like that. It's one of the few futuristic titles that I really liked, because I mean it really was like dark and gritty and grounded and like really believable. It just had a really cool vibe to it.
Yeah.
The customization was insane too. You could change your exosuit, you could change your top, your vest, your bottoms, your gloves, your boots, mask, hat, like everything. It was really cool as far as that goes. Frank asked a really cool question. I didn't want to skip it. He said in Tarkov there's opportunity for communications between opposing squads before a gunfight. I don't see this in other games. Why do you think that is? It actually is in other games. So proximity chat is in PUBG. It's in Squad, and it's in Insurgency Sandstorm. Those are the ones I know where there is that. Why I don't think it's in a lot of games, because I bet it is a pain in the ass to code and program. I bet it's really hard, because audio. I've read and heard that audio is really hard to do, especially in multiplayer games where the sounds have to be multiplied across the client side and server side, and everybody has to hear the same thing. So coding that into a game, I think, is really hard. And I think that's why you don't see it more. But it is out there in a few games, and it changed the way we play Tarkov. It's pretty cool in Tarkov.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything else?
I think I see some COD Ghost 2. I would like a Ghost 2, honestly. I wouldn't hate it. I didn't play the multiplayer for Ghost because Battlefield 4 came out like the same time, so I was just all up in that. But I did go back later on and play the campaign, and I enjoyed the story. So like every COD campaign, I don't think you can ever have a bad experience unless it's Vanguard. But
yeah, sure. I don't even know what Vanguard is. Yeah, Vanguard is looking like the Advanced Warfare sequel. Milsim guy says he's kind of not wrong. I did see his skin in that blog post that did have an exosuit.
No way, really?
So yeah, it's there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think that might potentially be an episode. I don't know. What do you think?
Think we're good. Yeah, really good questions, and man, great show. A lot of good topics too,
Yep.
and we got the restream working well too.
Yeah, honestly, let me know what you guys think. In my Discord, I have a feedback session for the scope. Mine are Buff socials; those are linked down below. If you guys have any feedback for the show, let us know there. Comment, chat, or whatever. Try to get a hold of us and let us know how we can make it better. I know we really want this show to get just a little bit better each week. I think the restream thing actually worked out pretty well tonight. We were able to go live, and chat was combined on both screens. We even had a couple folks from Facebook popping in that you guys could see. Yeah, I know,
Oh
Liv. You
yeah.
want time stamping. I argue that you just watched the whole thing. Come on, man. Yeah. So we just want to make it better. We want this to continue to grow, and can't thank you guys enough for the support and hanging out with us while we talk about video games, because it's really fun to do for me anyway.
Oh yeah, love it. Great
So,
show. Yeah, I'm glad the restream worked. It seems like it worked really well. We had a good. It's great seeing like both chats in there. I think overall we had our viewers were definitely up, so that's awesome. So a lot of fun.
yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool to see everybody's chats from across the channel. I could see like when folks from my channel and your channel were chatting. Um,
Hmm.
I did say it was live. Bulletkin, I can do that. You got to remind me next week for the quick shot hat. It's right there.
Yeah,
I'll do it. I will
we
do
need
it.
it. We need it.
So yeah, you guys have a great night. Have a great rest of your week. Like I said, we'll keep our eye on any intel drops. For up to date videos, check out our channels. But next week we'll all meet back here and discuss that stuff with you guys. Same goes with Gamescom. We'll keep our eye out on
Hmm.
that, and plan on meeting you guys back here about the same time, and talking about that with you guys.
Oh yeah. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Have a good week, and we'll talk later.
All right, see you guys. Thank you guys so much. See ya.